This is the new Samsung Galaxy A73 5G. It's like a flagship phone, but Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. Welcome back to Gadget Rev Now. A few months ago, Samsung released the top-tier mid-range, the Samsung Galaxy A73. It's really a solid phone, but it's not perfect because we're missing on some features we love from the A series from last year. So today we'll talk about the features I like, the shortcomings, and my recommendations. Let's go to work. Let's talk about the features I like. First, it has a nice design. Sure, it looks like the A72 from last year, but that big rectangular camera module looks current. Looks like the flagship S20 and S21s. The selfie camera is in the middle that looks symmetrical. It also has a nice matte finish at the back that won't accumulate lots of fingerprint smudges. The next nice feature is the IP67 and Gorilla Glass protection. This phone is dust and water resistant for 30 minutes, and the screen can stand scratches as it has Gorilla Glass 5. We used to have Gorilla Glass 3, so it's nice to know that this phone has Gorilla Glass 5. The next reason is the One UI 4. And I never thought of using this as one of the features that I like. The One UI 4 is the colorful, clean, and minimalist version of the stock Android launcher. It still has all the features of an Android 12 from security, aesthetics, and notification. The next feature I like is the excellent screen. It has 6.7-inch Super AMOLED Plus with 120Hz refresh rate and 800 nits of max brightness. The screen is actually better than some flagship Chinese phones and of course the LCD screen of its competitor, the iPhone SE 2022. Next is the long software updates. Samsung now guarantees a whopping 4 major Android OS upgrades and 5-year worth of security patches for Galaxy A series in 2022, the Samsung Galaxy A73, A53, and A33, similar to the Galaxy S22 series and other more expensive phones. Under the new Samsung Galaxy policy, these phones are guaranteed to receive Android 16. The next reason is the great battery life. The A73 is capable of powering through an entire day with 7 to 8 hours of screen on time. As far as charging is concerned, this is pretty quick. That 10 minutes of charging takes you to around 20%, while half an hour takes you to nearly 50%, which is actually pretty similar to the Samsung's flagship phone. And the last feature I like is the micro SD card expansion. You can easily swap memory cards when full, and it supports up to a whopping 1TB of micro SD card. This is really a good and solid mid-range phone. Next, let's talk about the shortcomings. First, let's talk about price. This phone is around $700 Canadian and just $300 less of the flagship S22 and $200 less of the new Samsung S21 Fan Edition, which are already flagship phone of both performance and cameras. So it's really hard to justify the price difference. Next is a regular 25 watts charging. Again, this charging speed is a little outdated now. We have the VOOC charging or the dart charging technology of other phones. And Samsung's still sticking to the slower 25 watts. And talk about the charging, Samsung didn't include the charging block. So you either buy or use one of your old charger, which is problematic if you want to sell your old phones too. Means you get less because you need to retain the charger of your old phone. The next shortcoming is the subpar performance. It is a snappy phone, but with a Snapdragon 778 5G, you will feel a little stuttering in playing some highly intensive game. Again, for $700, Apple will give you the iPhone SE 2022, which is less. With the fast processor, they have the A15 Bionic and other phones like Poco F4 GT with Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Next is the plastic back. And we already know the Samsung A series will be shipped with a plastic back, same with last year. Although plastic is sturdy, it will accumulate scratches easily and it's permanent. And for the last reason, there's no headphone jack. Last year, Samsung Galaxy A72 still had headphone jack, and this year they killed it, so you are forced to buy the Bluetooth earbuds. There's so many shortcomings, the pros and cons are half and half, and it's up to you to decide if the pros outweighs the cons. And lastly, recommendations. The new Samsung Galaxy A73 is a good phone, too expensive I think, but it feels like it's around the flagship territory. I will not recommend this to people who are using the last year's A72. I don't think there's much of an upgrade. It is probably faster, the camera is still gimmicky, and there are tons of alternative for $700. And I will recommend this to people who wants a good looking phone with excellent screen and battery life. This will perform similar to S22 Ultra in terms of battery life. Also, if you want to save a little bit and don't want the fastest processor for games, this is sufficient enough. The design looks like a flagship, the screen and battery life feels like a flagship, but once you use it for heavy games and start shooting with the camera, you will immediately notice it's not quite a flagship phone and you're stuck with a good-looking mid-ranger. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll continue to compare this phone in our channel, so stay tuned. And as always, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one.